Internet Society Trivandrum Chapter, Project Management Institute Kerala Chapter, Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers, Wakam Maulavi Foundation Trust, Trivandrum, IEEE Engineering in Medicine and Biology Society Kerala Chapter, IEEE LMAC Kerala Chapter. Today on our 97th talk, we have Dr. Venugopal S. Reddy, physician and life skill coach, United States of America, share his wisdom in your thinking. Before we begin, I would like to bring your attention to the feedback link which will be provided at the end of this session. Kindly fill the form, and also please don't hesitate if there is any argument for the certificate of attendance. Now I would like to call Neha and for welcoming the gathering.
Go ahead, Neha.
A warm good evening to Ananda. I'm Neha and Christopher, and it's my great pleasure to welcome all of you to the 97th weekly webinar series. Moving on to my assigned duty, firstly, I welcome the guest of honor of our today's session, respected Dr. Venugopal S. Reddy, physician and life skill coach, USA. I welcome you, sir. Next, I welcome respected Dr. K.C. Ravindranathan, sir, the chair and the leader of Indian Society Weekly Webinar Series. I welcome you, sir. I also welcome the volunteers of today's session as Amarda Nair, Anita Rose TR, Minha PM, and Atmaja Devi to the 97th webinar series. I more heartedly welcome all the coordinating societies, professional community, and the talented participants to this evening. Once again, welcome all of you to the 97th weekly webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Neha. Now I would like to invite Anita Rose to introduce our respective speaker.
Good evening. We are really extremely overwhelmed to receive Dr. Venugopal S. Reddy as our chief guest today. He has earned MBBS in 1975, MD in 1979 from Trivandrum Medical College, University of Kerala. Has completed his MRCP, General Medicine, in 1993 and ABIM, American Board of Internal Medicine from the USA, in 1996. He was a former faculty of government medical colleges in Kerala. Now he works as a physician, life skill coach, and consultant for hospitals, software companies, schools, professional colleges, and banks since 1985. He's also an internist in USA. His clients include doctors, nurses, engineers, teachers, students, entrepreneurs, lawyers, journalists, and bankers. So we're really happy and blessed to receive you, sir, for this talk, and hope you will have a great session with us. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, Anita. That was indeed a great introduction. Moving on to the formal session, I humbly welcome our honorable speaker, Dr. Venugopal S. Reddy, to take over the session. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Is the slide clearly visible?
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
you are audible.
Okay, now let me check the time. It is by my time here it is 7:32 a.m. I will try to finish my presentation within 45 to 50 minutes. And this session will be very interesting, thought-provoking, insightful, and useful. Because I'm very confident about that. I spent a lot of time doing the reading and research to prepare all these slides. My own personal motto is to help you build holistic thinking skills for holistic health. The holistic health means a combo of physical, mental, and emotional well-being. All the three should be taken care of. If your physical well-being is not good, it will affect your mental well-being and emotional well-being. And your mental well-being is not good, it would affect your physical and emotional. They are all interlinked. All the three are absolutely essential for a holistic well-being. Today's session, I will be presenting at a slow pace because I want to make sure that you are able to chew whatever the material I share with you and digest it. I'm not going to rush through. Whole brain thinking skills. I came across this book in 1985 at IEEE, that is Institute of Management Government Library. I went to IMG for a 2-week training in management. This book really helped me a lot in materializing almost all my goals and accomplishing many things in my work. I'm curious to know, has anybody in this audience read any books on whole brain thinking skills? If you have, then the chat box type yes. If you have not, then please type no, so that I'll get a clear idea about your awareness about this subject. Chat box, please. Okay. Don't feel bad. I haven't come here to humiliate anybody, or I haven't come here to show off. Yeah, I know more than what you know. No. Just by accident, I stumbled upon this book. In the past 37 years, I must have given numerous talks and conducted many seminars on whole brain thinking skills. This one really, that is, helped me a lot. If you know the whole brain thinking skills, if you don't know, then it is like 6 blind men that is trying to figure out what an elephant looks like. Depending upon which part of the elephant's body they touch. If one guy touches the tusk, he will think that elephant is a spear. If one touches the abdomen, he may think that is a wall. Ear, fan. Leg, tree. Tail, rope. That's all bits, and it is not the total information. The same way, many people, they take decisions or form opinions based on fragmented thinking. The whole brain thinking means we have a left brain and a right brain. We don't get any training in how to use left brain to solve problems or when to use the right brain to solve problems. The net result, sometimes some people always use the left brain when a right brain approach is required. Some people, by habit, they use the right brain and they find it very difficult to resolve certain problems. That is where the whole brain thinking skills will empower the person to use the right brain, either right or left of the brain. Socrates, the great thinker and a philosopher, he was sentenced to death. The accusation was he corrupted the minds of the youth. How did he corrupt? What did they mean by corrupting the minds of the youth? He tried to empower youth with thinking skills. And he would pose questions. He wouldn't give the answers. He would ask them to go home, think, and come back and tell their answers. The answer is right, he will pose a new question. The answer is wrong, he wouldn't give the answer. He wouldn't correct them. He would pose a follow-up question. And because of that one, he became very popular. And plenty of youngsters, they started gathering around him. Politicians, they saw it as a threat. Politicians always love people who are not good at thinking. If you know how to think, you will become smart. If you don't know how to think, then you will stay stupid. The politicians want stupid people, so it will be easy to manage them. So that is where Socrates always used to ask, why? Why not? Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, he was a physician. He authored that he created the immortal character, Sherlock Holmes. His medical knowledge helped him create that character. We usually, as physicians, we are supposed to practice evidence-based medicine. We look for evidence, facts, evidence. So that Sherlock Holmes always used to gather facts, analyze the facts, interpret them, and synthesize them, and come out with the conclusion. Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, Alva Edison. Dr. Ravindranath, I don't see myself in the full screen.
Yeah, we can pin.
I think that you may have to spotlight me. Thank you. Good. Yeah. So they were contemporaries. We know that Thomas Alva Edison, inventor of electric bulb and phonograph, the music industry, if you are able to enjoy music, that is because of Edison. And that phonograph he invented when he was hardly 32 years old. Light also around the same time. Henry Ford, he worked as a chief engineer for Edison in his illumination company. Then he quit after working for a few hours. Then he started his own, the automobile industry. Henry Ford, he revolutionized the whole manufacturing process. Before Henry Ford, it took nearly 12 hours to assemble a car. By his innovation, the moving assembly line, the 12 hours was reduced to just 1.5 hours. So that enabled mass production of the cars. The price came down, and even middle class people were able to buy the cars. This is a quote from Henry Ford. Thinking is hard work, which is why so few people do it. Yes, many people are lazy. If you ask them to think, they will be annoyed. They don't want to think. Thinking requires brain work. Albert Schweitzer, again, was a physician, and he won Nobel Prize for peace. He served in Africa. He was a philosopher, musician, and physician. Men simply don't think. That's why the relevance of today's topic, this talk is, that is, many people, they don't know how to think. Because our formal education fails to enable the children the thinking skills. We enjoy the comfort of opinion without the discomfort of thought. You must have seen that if most of the time, if somebody wants to buy a TV, I'm giving an example, they wouldn't want to spend time to do the research to find out what is the best brand and what is the one they require. Most of them, they will ask their friend or neighbor, hey, I want to buy a TV. What TV should I buy? That one say, yeah, buy a Sony. On what size? 40 inches. He goes to the shop and he asks for Sony 40 inches, buys that one, expensive TV. It may cost around 60,000 rupees. But 40-inch TV, does he really require 40 inches? Because if his living room is a small size, then he should go for a 32-inch TV. And the other brand, Samsung, LG, cheaper. When you seek somebody's opinion, then that is the disadvantage. Many people they always ask somebody else. They don't think. Warren Buffett, highly successful investor. It is worth reading that one carefully. We don't read other people's opinions. We want to get the facts and think. He seeks facts. All his decision in where to invest is based on critically evaluating the facts. That's my own quote. My hobby is reading and collecting quotations. I've been doing this one for more than 40 years. I have a personal collection of more than 40,000 quotes. And when I read these quotes, sometimes they stimulate my thinking. I come up with my own original thoughts. Most of them, they are opinions, not facts. Look at this one. In the COVID era, we have heard that it's people saying, there is a hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin, turmeric. Then Ayurveda, some other products like one Patanjali, they also marketed. That is good. Ginger. All those things are opinions. They are not facts, whether they are really good. Bias. What is bias? Irrational belief that affects the ability to make a decision based on facts and evidence. If a person has got an irrational belief, for example, if a person thinks, here also, this is very common in this country, the color-based discrimination is there. In India also, there is discrimination based on religion, caste, everything is there. So if that kind of a belief, okay, this color, that person cannot be smart, that person cannot be intelligent. then that will interfere with the logical thinking. That bias, that person, the colored person applies for a job, and if this person with that bias is the interviewer, he wouldn't hire that person. Already there is a bias. He's not open-minded. I'm giving you only one example. There are numerous examples. Within 45 to 50 minutes, I won't be able to share all the examples. Please read it carefully. Assumptions. We often make assumptions when we don't have all the facts. There are some gaps, we make assumptions. Again, please read slowly and carefully. As I mentioned earlier, if a person is biased, for example, for whatever be the reason, if a person doesn't like a particular political party, then that political party or the leader, whatever that person says, this person will be, because of the biased mind, they wouldn't accept. They'll immediately reject any proposal. Whereas assumptive minds, they don't open mind, but they jump to decisions. For example, I'll give you an example. Suppose in an examination hall, you are an invigilator. It is a 3-hour examination. There are 10 questions. And the student, I'll give a fictitious name, Rajesh. Exam starts at 9 o'clock, and he answers a couple of questions. At 9:30, he hands over his answer sheet and he leaves. As an invigilator, when you look at that one, he has answered only a couple of questions. 8 questions unanswered. Then most of the time, there's a possibility of making an assumption. Oh, he didn't study, he didn't prepare well, he didn't know the answer, that is why he has left. But the actual reason may be he might have had severe headache and he could not sit through. So he left. But once, as an individual, when you come to know he left because of that headache, then you will change your initial opinion or impression. That is the difference between assumptive mind and biased mind. Cognitive bias. Cognition is a mental process where the information or knowledge is processed. For processing that one, the mind should be calm. Now, fear is a very strong emotion. A person who is experiencing fear, panic, or phobia, that person won't be able to process any information, knowledge objectively. Anxiety also, depression, worry. Every day, we come across different kinds of reports. Print media, visual media, that generate different kinds of bias. Over-reporting, I mean either exaggeration or too frequent reporting. Look at this COVID. more than 2 years. Not even one day passes without people talking about it. When I call my friends in India, every day, the first question they ask, അവിടെ എങ്ങനെയുണ്ട് കോവിഡ്? നിങ്ങളുടെ അവിടെ കൂടുതലാണോ കുറവാണോ? Every day, this COVID repeatedly bombarded, this over-reporting that creates a best in this form of fear. Under-reporting. Any incident, if it is under-reporting, either consciously, suppression, unreporting, they're not aware. There are many facts. Because they are not reported, I think those things are not happening. Misreporting. That is where I find frequently, I'm a medical doctor, and I will substantiate everything with evidence. This talk, I'm not here to just to share my opinion, unsubstantiated opinion. Misreporting, I find that's okay, everyday report, okay. Vaccinated people, the death rate is low, unvaccinated death is high, unvaccinated people are at a higher risk. I'll convince you, I think that I'll be able to convince you with facts and data. Believe me, I'm not an anti-vaccination guy. I strongly support polio vaccination, triple vaccination, tetanus, hepatitis A, hepatitis B, smallpox, the polio, virtually eradicated in the world. In India, the last time I think that they reported polio cases in 2014. That was possible because of that aggressive vaccination campaign. I'm not against. Self-explanatory. Once again, I'm showing the same slide. Fear, anxiety, depression, worry. My goodness. Billions, not millions, billions of people worldwide, they are suffering from fear, panic, anxiety since the beginning of this pandemic. Again, billions of people are suffering from anxiety, depression, worrying, constantly worrying. For your information, one of my relations wears mask inside the home. She has been wearing the mask for more than 2 years. And another relation, he didn't attend the funeral, his own son's funeral and his granddaughter's wedding. And one of my neighbors has not come out of her house for more than 2 years. And in USA also, anxiety, everything. One of my friends, he's a software engineer. He bought 4 N95 masks. Monday, one mask, Tuesday, another one, like that rotates. And he wears gloves whenever he goes for shopping, grocery shopping. After buying this stuff, he leaves them inside the garage and he allows them to stay for 48 hours. Then only he takes it inside the home. He has been doing that one for more than 2 years. Fear, anxiety, worry, depression. One ER physician, I'm not sure whether it was in New York or some other state, she committed suicide when the result came as COVID test positive. That was 1.5 or 2 years back. the beginning of this one. And in Tirunelveli, one Iruttukadai Alva shop owner, he committed suicide. So hundreds or thousands of people, they committed suicide because of this COVID phobia, anxiety. Now this data, whatever I'm showing, I spend more than 3 hours to make sure the data I'm presenting before you are authentic. More than 3 hours. I will show you the resources also from where I collected the data. Get the discussion or this session will be a failure if I don't provide authentic data. Look at the data carefully and critically. From February 2020 to 2021, in USA, the number of COVID-related deaths, 433,000. The vaccine became available in December of 2020. Vaccine became available in December of 2020. And in December of 2021, more than 60% of the population were fully vaccinated. Fully vaccinated means they got 2 shots. Look at the numbers. Before the vaccine came, unvaccinated population, the number death is less than the number of people who died after getting vaccination. I'm not saying that vaccination is responsible for the death. That's not my point. The point is, before and after the vaccination, did the vaccination prevent? Did the vaccination protect? Did the vaccination save lives? Think about it. You have to arrive at your own conclusion. Read it carefully, then we'll discuss. They're all authentic numbers. I checked 3 times. Look at Sweden. The population is just 1.02 crores. 73% fully vaccinated. Death, 16,000. India, look at India. 140 crores. That means 140 times more. Vaccination rate, only 54%. 18% less. Look at the number of deaths. 5,09,000. If you multiply 16,000 with 140, the number would have been more than 22 lakhs. More than 22 lakhs. Literacy rate is also low when compared to Sweden. Sweden, 99% literacy. Standard of living also very high. In India, with all this slum and everything, congested and poverty and everything, the number is only, some people may say, yeah, this is cooked up. India, we don't report everything. That is the immediate response. I have heard this response several times. Then look at Brazil. Population, 21.50 crores. Again, the vaccination rate more than 17% when compared to India. Death, 639,000. That were so, Indian population 7 times more than the population of Brazil. Here, you multiply that one with 7, it should have been more than 42 lakhs. In India, that should have been more than 42 lakhs. Thought-provoking. This is the last one, thought-provoking data. Our own Kerala, 3.46 crores. Fully vaccinated, 84.35%. This data is from February 1st. Pakistan, almost 7 times population. Vaccination, 50% less. Death, 25,000 less. Nigeria, 6 times more. Vaccination rate, my goodness, only 2.58%. Death, 3,136. Ethiopia, almost more than 3 times. Look at the vaccination rate, 1.36. Death is less than 10,000. How do you explain? It is very difficult to explain. I asked many people, my own colleagues, and ID specialists in US. They were not able to give an explanation. Why? Think. 84.3. Earlier they said, WHO and all the other bodies said that herd immunity. If the vaccination is 60 to 70% of the population they are vaccinated, there is herd immunity. That means unvaccinated people also don't have to. They won't get the infection. Herd immunity. What's happening in Kerala? 84.35%. Then again, they were saying, oh, Omicron, very mild. No death. Vaccinated, don't worry. Now I look at the data here. In Kerala, January last month, the number of cases reported, 5,25,245. Death, 790 deaths. Oh, if it is mild, don't let worry. How to explain this 790 deaths? And they were saying that 96% were Omicron variant. What about another state, Maharashtra? The total number of cases reported, almost double the number of Kerala. 9,17,190. Death, less than Kerala, 783 deaths. How do you explain? How do you explain? The Maharashtra population also 4 or 5 times more than Kerala. So when you look at all this objective data, there's no simple this one. It is not. Doesn't look like vaccination protects. Unvaccinated, that's not true. Source of data. Subsequently, you can review the video recording and you can check that it is authentic. Look at all this social distancing. Because of social distancing, people are becoming more and more addicted to the cell phone. Look at that. Everyone is hooked up to the cell phone. What about the kids? My goodness, I feel very sorry for all these children. They are addicted to cell phones, video games. They're terribly bored. They're like the caged animals. Healthcare workers. N95 mask, shield, PPE, everything. Vaccination, vaccine, 3 doses also. Plenty of them. They contracted COVID. Plenty of them. Because I'm constantly in touch with my friends in India and USA who are all doctors. At least 15 to 20 doctors. I talk to them often. And my information is based on their input. They are in the field. Those who took the vaccine, 2 doses, 3 doses, still contracted COVID. And some of them, severe symptoms. Some of them, they got the 3rd dose and within 1 to 3 days, they developed symptoms, sore throat, fever, and COVID test came positive. This is unreported. They are not reporting this. Look at socialization is completely gone. They are sitting far away. In the past, you would sit and you get acquainted to a new person, friendship, everything develops, everything is gone. Life has become hell because of COVID, fear, phobia, panic, anxiety, depression, worry. So the purpose of today's talk is to help you think rationally. This is East Africa, country named Malawi, population 2 crores. Is anybody wearing a mask? They are poor. Literacy rate is also low when compared to Sweden and other places. America, population 2 crores. The number of cases, 85,000 only. Number of deaths, less than 7,000. How do you explain this? Whereas in Sweden, 1 crore, the death rate is more than that, 16,000. During this pandemic, false hopes and empty promises. Herd immunity claim, 60 to 70%, yeah. Don't worry, there'll be herd immunity. But now they are saying, then they said that, oh, 70 to 80%. Went up. Now they are saying 80 to 90%. So what is happening? What is happening here? Aggressively vaccinating, giving the false hope. Herd immunity will prevent, protect. Is that true? Ask yourself. I have presented you the data. In Kerala, there must be already herd immunity. Why in India, this is second. It is the state with the largest number of COVID cases. What about that herd immunity? Why is it not happening? Efficacy and safety assurance claims. Don't worry. It is very safe. It is very efficacious. If it is effective, then how do you explain? People who had full vaccination getting COVID, even after 3rd dose. And safety. Again, the COVID vaccination can cause blood clots, and some people, they died from pulmonary embolism. Inflammation of the heart, myocarditis. Again, people died just like that. Think about it. First dose, second dose, 3rd dose. Did it prevent? Did it protect? Did it really save lives? But again, we are ready to take the 4th dose. Israel, people are taking the 4th dose. In USA also, 4th dose. Albert Einstein, that quotation, 100% true. For your information, I have not taken even 1 dose. I repeat, I haven't taken even 1 dose. Is it because I'm arrogant? Or is it because I'm stupid? Because some of in the beginning is that, hey, you're stupid. You're a medical doctor. What are you doing? You're already a senior citizen. You are taking unnecessary risk. Why didn't I take the vaccination? I'll explain. Because here, the flu shot, every year during this season, flu season, they give flu shot. In the last 25 years, not even once I took flu vaccine. Why? The flu virus and this COVID virus, they mutate very rapidly. Both viruses, they mutate. And my own co-workers, nurses, and some doctors who had the flu shots, they developed flu. And they were sick for 1 or 2 weeks. I didn't get even once the flu. I'm not a superman. I'm an ordinary man. So unvaccinated, I didn't get. Vaccinated, they got. So that is my logical thinking. This vaccination is not to protect, to prevent. Every year, 25 to 80,000 people in America die from flu. Just like the COVID comorbid conditions, flu also. 25 to 80,000. What about the herd immunity and everything? That's why I didn't take. I'm not afraid. No fear, no phobia, no panic, no anxiety, no worry, no depression. I want the public to get rid of all these negative symptoms and have an enjoyable life. കാണുന്നില്ലല്ലോ ഡോക്ടർ രവീന്ദ്രൻ എൻ്റെ മറ്റേ ഇത് okay, now I got it. There are plenty of books on blind spots. Okay, you might not have heard this name. Have you heard this name? And this signal in the chat box. If you have heard, yes. If you have not heard, please say no. No, okay. No, okay, good, okay. He's an epidemiologist, virologist, immunologist in Sweden. Right from the beginning, the government followed his recommendation and advice. No lockdown. Sweden is one country. No lockdown. Schools were not closed. No masking. There was not the world. They were very much scared. Masking, schools closed, lockdown, businesses, everything. Look at our country again. How many businesses? Hotel businesses, tourism. They suffered a lot. They suffered a lot. Sweden, they didn't. And he told that it took more than 1 year or nearly 2 years to prove that he was right. Look at UK. They COVID, Omicron is rampant. They also banned this masking. No more masking. Opening the schools. Denmark again, no masking. Opening the schools. And Stegnell. I salute him. Whereas this gentleman, Anthony Fauci from USA, consistently inconsistent recommendations. Flip-flop. Initially, he said that mask, don't wear mask. Then he changed, you must wear a mask. Then he said 60% vaccine, herd immunity. Then 80%. Then 80%. Then comes, okay, if you have 2 shots, then you don't need to wear the mask. Then change. Oh no, even if you had 2 shots, wear the mask. Now again, injecting fear, fear, fear. And you must understand, who made all these vaccinations a business? Malaria, every year, last year, malaria killed, malaria cases, 140 million. More than, the number is 6,20,000 deaths. It has been there for centuries. Malarial parasite. Only last year, October, they have come out with a vaccine. Why delay? Because malaria is not is a problem in Africa. Manufacture vaccine, we won't be able to sell worldwide. Whereas COVID, yeah, globally. Bill Gates, in 2009, in one interview, CNBC interview, you can watch that one. He invested nearly $10 billion over a period of 20 years in vaccination. That return was 20 times. That is 200 billion from vaccine. You think everything for yourself. Okay, I think that, yeah, I have managed the time. I'm finishing. This is the last slide. So believe me, when I shared my data and asked some of my friends for their comments, most of them, they said, this is a fake news. This is a fake news. Where is the source? When I gave them the source, silent. Immediate reaction, fake news. Then they say, yeah, our immunity is stronger. Oh, okay. So poverty and undernutrition, malnutrition, it increases the immunity. Come on. How do you explain that one? Poverty and malnutrition, undernourished, low weight. Then everything is wrong with the medicine. So thank you all for your patient listening. And if you have any questions or comments, then I will try to respond. If I don't know, then I will say, I don't know. Thank you all.
Yes. There are a few questions.
Hello.
Yeah, question. What
Can
is
I
the
ask the question right now? My name is Suresh Kumar.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
Yeah, my question is from a statement that is man's mind stretched to do a new idea never goes back to its original dimension. This is said by Oliver Wande Holmes. How to get away from this resistance to change, especially after this pandemic, you know that, as you explained also, there's a lot of change happened in everybody's thinking. So they say that new normal and so on. So how we can change or to make the resistance? I will repeat again. Man's mind. Yeah.
I got it. Now,
yeah.
I repeat. Everybody, please buy a copy of that book, Whole Brain Thinking Skills, and sharpen your thinking skills. And get rid of all the blind spots. And any data, search, don't seek opinions. Do hunting, get facts, compare. See, I presented the data. Everything by hunting. Do that one. Do the homework. Don't blindly believe what you hear, even the medical experts. Not everybody, doctors again, I know, a significant number of doctors. They are not good thinkers. They are not good thinkers. So read the book and listen to this talk again, recorded once or twice.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. Thank you. And the only thing is that the age is a factor in that kind of thinking or reading again and getting back to how to resist that change.
Okay, Mr. Suresh
Age.
Kumar.
Yeah.
Aging is that is again a blind spot. Henry Ford, again, another quote. If you think you can, you can. If you think you cannot, you cannot. You're right. How you think? If you think you can. At the age of 40, I was working in the medical college service. When I was 40, I decided to go abroad and go for all this MRCP and everything. Many of my friends say that it is impossible. You are already middle-aged and you have to study 13 subjects. And the passing score required is 75. That is their opinion. It is not a fact. I simply ignored that one. I proceeded. I passed all the exams in the first attempt. Aging, the moment you think that I am aged, finished. Never, never allow that sort of a thinking at all. Look at all these politicians. Even at the age of 90, they are active. They are very sharp. They exercise their mind. That's what is required. Any other question? I don't want to engage in a debate. Let us move on. Another question? I welcome questions.
Doctor, I am Ravindranath from Trivandrum. I just want to know how to assess the blind spots in one's thinking. Any practical suggestions can you suggest? I wish to know this, please.
Sure, that is a very good question. Because after reading that book only, I was able to discover my own blind spots. I had plenty of blind spots I was not aware of. Again, all the prejudice based on, this. We have the caste system, Hindu, again, there are plenty of castes, subcastes, sub-subcastes. And when you grow up, all these prejudice, everything is injected by the society. Some come from the parents, some from the peers, some from all those things. And consciously, with conscious on, I started looking at everything with a fresh eye. So that is one way of identifying the blind spots. Bias. Bias is very common. Look at the bias again. Egg, eating egg, opinion. Many people say, oh, mutta kazhikkirathu. Cholesterol good. Not good for heart. You must have heard that one. Haven't you heard that one, Ravindranath?
Yes, I heard it.
That is wrong. You can eat up to 7 eggs. And actually, eating egg will help in boosting the HDL level. But no, many doctors again don't read. And they again, bias, blind spot. This guy likes eating egg. So like that, read, search for facts. Instead of sitting and watching all this TV charcha, waste of time. Our precious resources wasted by sitting in front of the TV. I don't watch TV news. For more than 30 years, I read a lot. So there I have control. Newspaper, I read. I choose what to read, when to read, how much to read. But if you are sitting in front of a TV news, the time is not under your control. They manipulate. Everybody has got only 24 hours. Whether it is a Prime Minister Modi or a ordinary beggar, not even 1 second more. How you use your time. Read books, my dear friend. Read books, non-fiction books. Especially one single book, whole brain thinking skill. Then you will be able to identify your blind spots. Please try that one. There's no.
Thank you, Doctor, very much for your useful advice. And we will follow that one and then continue. Thank you very much for the useful presentation.
You're welcome.
Sir, thank you, sir, for a very wonderful and informative and interactive session. It was great listening to you, sir. Now I invite Minha PM to deliver the vote of thanks.
A warm evening to one and all gathered here. Most valued guest of honor, Dr. Venugopal S. Reddyar, all other esteemed dignitaries, and dear participants. I am much privileged to propose the vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of those who worked hard to make this 97th Talk of Inter-Society weekly webinar series a huge success. On behalf of IWWS, I exhibit heartfelt thanks to our chief guest, Dr. Venugopal S. Reddyar, who spent his busiest time lighting the occasion. Today, we have got an opportunity to hear his words and thoughts, and this is going to encourage us in our future events. Your thoughts have really enlightened us, and it was mind-blowing, sir. As a token of love and honor, we would like to present a virtual memento. Kindly accept it, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Special mention to Dr. Ravindranathan, sir, respected chairperson of IWWS, being the backbone of this event, who inspired us to do our best and stand as pillar of power. With deep sense of appreciation, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I would also like to express our sincere gratitude to the people behind the scene who helped to execute this event, especially technical arrangement team as Amrit Nair, the moderator of the session, Neha and Christopher, who delivered the welcome speech, and Anita Rose TR for the introduction. At the end, I express my sincere thanks to all the participants who've gathered tonight. Your presence, your participation was the success of this webinar. Once again, thank you all.
Before, can I say a couple of words? Can I say a couple of words? Hello?
Sure.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Sure, sir, sure.
Please go ahead.
ഞാൻ ഈ വാക്സിനേഷൻ എടുക്കാത്ത കാരണം ഇവിടെ കുറെ പേരെല്ലാം they are afraid of me. They are afraid of me. So recently, when I wanted to pick up a small things from a Malayali friend, and he asked me to come to his home. When I went there, he didn't come out. He just phoned. He told me, I have left it in the garage. You can take that one from the garage. They are afraid. This guy is unvaccinated. This guy is unvaccinated. They have taken 3 shots. Then what's the point in worrying? You are vaccinated. You should not be afraid of an unvaccinated person. So they don't believe. They don't trust. വേറെ ഒരാൾ ചോദിച്ചു എന്തിനാണ് വാക്സിൻ എടുക്കുന്നത് 3 എടുത്തു ഇനി പിന്നെയും കോവിഡ് ഒന്നല്ലോ ഇനി എടുക്കാൻ നിൽക്കുന്നത് നാടോടുമ്പോ നടുവേ ഓടണ്ടേ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു അതെന്തോന്നാണ് ലോജിക് ഈസ് എ ഡോക്ടർ നാടോടുമ്പോ നടുവേ ഓടും ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് സംതിങ് ലൈക്ക് I'm sorry for being very blunt. It is something like a herd stupidity. എല്ലാവരും ചെയ്യുന്നു ഞാനും ചെയ്യുന്നു എല്ലാവരും ഓടുന്നു ഞാനും ഓടുന്നു എല്ലാവരും എടുക്കുന്നു ഞാനും എടുക്കുന്നു They already taken 3 shots. Look at that Albert Einstein quote. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. With these words, I close. Thank you all. Wish you all the best. COVID ne kudichu pedichu mootra oyichondirikirudhu.
Thank you, Dr.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Minha. Now we have come to the end of today's session. Thank you everyone for joining the session, and the meeting is closed.
Thank you.
Dr. Venugopal Reddyar is there again for a small chat. Is he there?
I think he left.
He left already. Okay, very good. Anyway, excellent talk.
Yeah, let us chat. In fact, what you wanted to talk to him, can we listen to that?
Yeah, certainly. I agree with him totally.